What's up, guys? Game Fifi and Raw Games here, and hopefully, if you're watching this video does get uploaded by Saturday because currently with me, YouTube is having some problems and it's not letting me upload for some reason. And hopefully, by the time this video gets out, it's out. But I'm not the only person that's experiencing this problem. But moving on to more important things, this is Drama Scripted Saturday, and let's start off with Raw. I enjoyed Raw very, very much this week, all up until the last 15 minutes. But let me start with everything before that. I enjoyed the John Cena for the one night, one day only, probably going back to the Thugonomics. But I don't understand. I don't know why they did that, or he did that himself. But I don't know why he did it. But it just proves that no matter what John Cena does or say, people are still gonna hate him because he was still getting booed, which was confusing to me because people want John Cena to go heel, John Cena to go heel. Well, his Thugonomics gimmick was when he was a heel. Not to say that when he does go heel, he's probably gonna go back to that because that's old and people want something new. But it's just confusing me. Like you just can't please anybody in the WWE anymore, which I find kind of odd. I enjoyed the rap gimmick. The rap gimmick. I enjoyed that session of the show. I enjoyed the promo 100%. I like the old John Cena. It was good, and that's pretty much it. My thoughts on that. Moving on, other things that stood out to me on Raw was the Sheamus versus Dolph Ziggler match. It looked like there was a small botch in the match, but I don't know if it was probably formatted to go like that. It's probably meant to go like that with Sheamus going for his Fisher Carrier slam, but then it got messed up, and then they did a new finish. It looked like that's what it looked like to me. It looked like a botch, but it probably wasn't. But all in all, that was a good match, and Brodus Clay returned. Yeah, they finally let Brodus Clay wrestle on television, and that was probably the second biggest highlight for me for the show. And he had basically a squash match against Jinder Mahal, and he beat him in under like five seconds. Another match I really enjoyed was the Jack Swagger versus Randy Orton match, and I enjoyed that match right because I'm a huge Jack Swagger fan. I don't mind Randy Orton, but I'm not a person to go crazy for, oh look, it's Randy Orton and I must watch his matches. Another thing that stood out to me was the Chris Jericho and CM Punk feud. Looks like now they're finally doing something, even though I've been enjoying this feud ever since the start. But with Chris Jericho appearing on the Titantron after CM Punk's match versus The Miz, which I enjoyed that match as well, saying that the reason why he was like, you say you're straight edge, you stay straight as hardcore, but you never really told people why. He said you do it because your father was alcoholic, and you do have the alcoholic gene inside you. And I was like, don't you find it? He was like, you try to hide it from it so much that you rather take the pain from a needle to get all those tattoos than the drink. And it seemed like CM Punk is actually selling it. Like he looked mentally disturbed by that Chris Jericho brought that up, and I'm actually excited for next week's Raw to see what CM Punk is gonna do in return to Chris Jericho. Very, very like that. Oh, another thing I enjoyed, the WWE keeps on building correctly. The GM feud between Teddy Long and John Laurinaitis. I I don't understand why it's so good. I think it's because they're both bad, and when you put two bad things together, it becomes good. Because I'm enjoying this feud a lot. Can't wait to see the match, to see the GM versus GM match for who has control of both shows. I just I can't explain it. It's just I enjoy it. I just don't know what it is about it. I don't know. And the last thing that stood out to me on Raw was the Rock concert. I didn't like it. I'm probably one of the only few people that didn't like it. It's like it's nothing new. It's just they're just calling names back and forth at each other. It's just oh, The Rock says, John Cena, you're a bitch. John Cena goes, but I'm always here and will never leave. That's basically it. It's sad that the invincible promos that they put up 2 months ago, sells this feud better than John Cena and The Rock are selling the feud themselves. It's like they're just going back and forth, name insulting each other, and it's boring and stale. There's nothing innovative about it. There's nothing, and there's nothing here, and it's not helping that it looks like John Cena's not selling The Rock, because The Rock says, "I'll rip your throat out." He just smirks and laughs. Meanwhile, Kane says, "I'll make you face the hate," and John Cena got all angry. So I don't I don't get why Cena's not selling The Rock, because The Rock is trying to sell Cena, but I don't know. It's the build up for the feud is bad in my opinion, and it doesn't help that The Rock basically isn't the old Rock anymore. He's not, well, to me he's not funny. The Fruity Pebbles thing, it was funny when he first started, but now it's like it's old. Like he needs something else. He needs something new to joke on him on. Just joking on his shorts and saying the only funny thing he says is the camouflage shorts that he has no balls. That was the newest thing that he said that I actually found a little bit funny, but then he goes back to it every week and it's like we've heard this already. But moving on to TNA, which was actually watchable again. Which this is, I guess it is 2012. I guess the world will be over because TNA was actually watchable. I'm really enjoying the Zion versus Austin Aries feud, but I only have one complaint about it, is that I don't know who the hell is the face or who the hell is the heel, because you have Zion bragging about breaking Jamie Sorensen's neck, and then you have Austin Aries, who's the cocky and arrogant one, saying that I'm the best X Division champion, and on Impact he celebrated being the longest running X Division champion in TNA history, which is only 127 days, which dawned on me that wasn't aware that the X Division title switched hands a lot. I mean, that's not a long title reign. That's pretty much, that's an average middle middle title reign in WWE, like for the U.S. title and the Continental title. But well, Cody Rhodes is breaking milestones with that because he's been the IC champ, I think, for the past 4 months now. So yeah, but I wasn't aware that it was only on 127 days. But I'm confused here because Zion is not the face, because he keeps bringing up that he broke Jamie Sorensen's neck, which I'm not really feeling. I get the fact that he's trying to be a heel, but the way that I'm not digging the way he says it. He really says it in a very, very disrespectful way. Like, it's not kayfabe. Like, he actually means what he says it. And Austin Aries, I enjoy Austin Aries' work in the ring and on the mic, but he's presenting himself as a heel. So this is like a heel versus heel match, but TNA is famous for doing it. Other matches that stood out to me, Mr. Anderson came back in his first match after returning from last week. He had a match it was Mr. Anderson versus the Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels. I enjoyed that match a lot, but it seems like Christopher Daniels got cut on the cheekbone a little, but it's a tough business. You're going to get bumps and bruises along the way. I very, very much enjoyed that match. Gail Kim versus Mickie James. I enjoyed that match a lot, with Gail Kim winning and getting momentum for her match at Victory Road. Other things that stood out to me, that was pretty much it. Oh, and Crimson is still undefeated. He had a match between Samoa Joe, and he had a little outside interference from Matt Morgan to help Crimson get the win. That's pretty much that I found interesting and that stood out to me on this PAX End Zone. Oh, and the ODB and Eric Young storyline is funny. I didn't think it was going to get to this funny, that they would have the Knockout Division tag team titles and now they're getting married. But I enjoyed this storyline as well. But the only thing that's bad that stood out to me on Impact was the contract sign. It was nothing new about the contract sign. Oh, main event for next week, people were going to sit down, talk, and then we're going to fight, and that's basically what happened. No surprise there. Hopefully the match will be entertaining on Victory Road. Now on to SmackDown with my favorite wrestler returning, Christian. Christian returned, and he returned with the Peep Show. And he's basically saying that he wants to be on Big Johnny's team for the control of both shows. And John Laurinaitis put him on his team, which is funny because Christian is a SmackDown superstar, but it looks like that doesn't matter. Matches that stood out to me was AJ Lee versus Brie Bella. It was an okay match, even though it was small. With Daniel Bryan actually helping AJ Lee win, he stopped the Bella switch that they always do, and AJ Lee wound up winning the match to get her one step closer to the women's title, to the Divas title, which I don't see her winning that because Beth Phoenix should squash her like a fly going to a fly swatter. I just don't see AJA winning if they even have that match. Other matches that stood out to me was Cody Rhodes versus the Great Khali, even though Cody Rhodes made that match good because I don't see why WWE keeps the Great Khali around because he's big in the ring and can't move. I don't I don't know. It's just one of those WWE you wonder things. Other matches that was on the card. The first match of the night was Kofi Kingston versus David Otunga because it was supposed to be Christian versus Kofi Kingston, but Christian pulled himself out saying that he was back, but he had an ingrown toenail, so he couldn't wrestle. So David Otunga took over for him, and Kofi Kingston ended up winning the match anyway due to a little outside interference and a little bit confusing. Christian got tossed from ringside because he interfered in the match, but Kofi Kingston wound up winning, hitting the Trouble in Paradise on David Otunga. And the other match was Big Show versus Drew McIntyre. It was an okay match, nothing really special. The main event though was good. The main event was Sheamus versus Chris Jericho. Really, really enjoyed that match, and you know what? That's gonna be the match to look for. If you haven't watched SmackDown or you watched any matches of the week, I suggest you look up the Chris Jericho versus Sheamus match for SmackDown. Then that's pretty much this week in wrestling. There's really nothing, no big news no big unscripted news that happened on both shows. Really, nothing stood out. That's gonna pretty much wind this up for this week's on Drama Scripted Saturday. Hopefully, this video gets uploaded within this weekend because by the time you hear this, the reason I'm giving you the reason why I say is that YouTube is having uploading problems, and I have two videos that I want to upload with you guys. This one and another video that's just a surprise. Don't know which is gonna get uploaded first, so I'm not gonna reveal what that video is about. But anyway, I'm Game King Funeral Games, guys. This is Road to Chairman Prescott Match 27, and I'm out here, guys. Later, peace.
Our species is destined to rule Syria. The humans can no longer deny this.